Chelsea Football Club, you might have just stumbled into a centre-back partnership that's going to make do for the year. I'm going to talk about it. Furthermore, when you start making silly decisions like Enzo Maresca is with Guio, what ends up happening is fans turn to conspiracy theories and start to construct ideas of what's going to happen in January because you've already bought another striker. And finally, the injury woes do not end. It looks like Andrey Santos now has an injury and he's out till the international break. We need to talk about it. We need to break it down. We need to preview what this means for the Liverpool game, but today's video is an important one. So what you need to do is hit that like button right now to support the channel because you like me. Secondly, if the hype button is over there, hit it. It's the best way to promote the channel, or share the content with somebody that you know. And finally, if you like Chelsea related news, subscribe to the channel. It's the simplest way to keep up with the club. I keep you entertained, and we do it quickly in 15 minutes. Let's get out. I think it's not a secret, or it's not an exaggeration to say Chelsea have got a centre-back issue. Chelsea have got multiple centre-backs on the books. However, certain people are injured, certain people have concussions, certain people can't play because they've got suspension, and certain people just can't stay fit. So the reality is, what we have at this moment in time is inexperience, concussions, injuries, suspensions, and it's causing a lot of havoc. Chelsea may have stumbled into a partnership indirectly. So, Benoit Badiashile came back. He played 10 minutes the other day. He ended up playing 80 minutes against Benfica and he looked colossal. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say it was a tremendous performance. Good on the ball, good in the air, aggressive, assertive, leadership. He's just imposing. Everything you want from a centre-back, he gave you. And what now is happening is people all of a sudden are changing their tune. He's gone from Badiashile to Big Ben. Genuinely, people are absolutely now talking about this guy deserves more time. He needs more opportunities. He's always been good under Potter, and Thiago Silva was next to him. And what I've always said on this channel is we don't know how good he is. Why? Because the only time he's ever had consistent game time is under Potter. And then once Potter left, Poch came in, and it was just full-on transition between, he plays a few games, he gets injured, he comes in, he makes a mistake, he's not seen for a few weeks, then he makes another mistake, then he makes another mistake. That's not sustainable. And the problem here is people don't want to accept it, because once we make up our mind on a player, it's very difficult to change our mind on something. And the key here is, Badiashile is a good player, but how good he is, we don't know. But what we do know is, when Levi Colwell's out, we need a centre-back partnership. For me, if Fofana's fit, he's our best centre-half. Even if Levi's fit, Fofana is the best. So it's Fofana plus one. Someone has to meet Fofana's characteristics and be able to be Fofana's partner. Who is that? A lot of you would say Josh. I like Josh. However, what I do know about Josh is he is somebody that needs to be drip fed in. He needs to play a game or two, get taken out. Good, bad, indifferent. He needs to get around about 15 to 20 appearances. Yesterday came on against Benfica, and I've got a video at the end which reviews the game in detail, so you can go check it out. I'll put a link in at the end of the video. But that's exactly what he needed. He got 15 minutes in the Champions League learning how to see a game out. That's as good development as playing 90 minutes against Lincoln. It's as simple as that. However, Badiashile is someone that is left-footed, good on the ball, can play centre-back, and enables us to open different avenues up. And it is someone that we have to now decide of what we're going to do. We know Toussaint's weaknesses. We know Chalobah's weaknesses. We know Badiashile's weaknesses. We know Fofana's weaknesses. And we know Hato's and Josh's weaknesses. The key here is we need to make a decision. And this is where you will come in. In the comments below, I need you lot to tell me, till Levi Colwill comes back and then the 12 months of his rehabilitation, what would be your main partnership? Don't say I'd go buy a new centre-half. It's not happening for now. For me, until January, what I would want to see in an ideal world, Badiashile and Fofana together. Reece on one side and Cuckoo on the other. However, it's going to be tough because they need to stay fit. So I need you lot right now in the comments below, let me know what would be your ideal centre-half partnership from the choices that we have available. I love nothing more than when football fans start looking at decisions, and once they look at the decisions, they start to formulate reasons to why things are occurring. And Mark Guio's situation stinks. And I think everybody knows Mark Guio is being hard done by here, because he could have been on loan at Sunderland. He could have been getting 15-20 minutes off the bench. He could have been trying to force his way into a team. However, what's happening now is he's just training with Chelsea and he's got a season. That's exactly what he has. The problem now is Chelsea Football Club may have a plan according to conspiracy theories that come out. Because when football fans can't get answers that are logical, our mind starts to wonder. And when it starts to wonder, we start forming different ideas, and different ideas start creeping into conspiracy. Well, this one's actually very interesting. Enzo Maresca's reiterating that even though Joao Pedro is suspended, he's got Guio and he's got George. Well, no, you've got George because Guio doesn't exist in your eyes. He's the kid that you don't care about. He's the kid that you don't call about. And he's the kid that you absolutely just make warm up for the sake of it. And he's never getting on the pitch. The problem is, what is this conspiracy now? The conspiracy is actually very simple when you think about it, and that's what makes it sound realistic. There's a FIFA rule. You can't play for more than 2 clubs in one calendar year. You can be registered with 3, but you can't play for more than 2. Meaning, he's already played for Sunderland. He is allowed now to wait and play for Chelsea. However, Chelsea haven't played him, and everyone's asking why. He could have played against Lincoln, could have played against any other number of clubs that we've had no striker, but George keeps getting ahead of the pecking order. And people are saying, hold on, is it not as simple as Omega's coming in January, we're just going to sell Guio to Strasbourg with an option to buy? And when you put it like that, it actually makes sense. It's not logical. I think it's stupid. I would have kept him at Sunderland. However, it makes sense. Think about it, right? Guio's not getting game time here. They know long-term he ain't the solution. They know that they're using Joao Pedro in the 10. Maresca's basically made that clear. The minute we have 2 strikers, Joao Pedro is going into the 10. The Lap plus Omega up top from January. On top of that, what do you have? You've got Mark Guio. Why else would they announce the move for Omega this early? Why else would they all of a sudden risk announcing it so early that the Strasbourg fans are fuming? It's because if Strasbourg are in a Champions League spot and you take their captain, the fury would have been 50 times worse. The impact would have hurt even more. And I won't be surprised if come January 1st, Omega is a Chelsea player and Guio is going all the way to Strasbourg for a fee. But until then, it looks like we're stuck with Tariq George, and I explain in the video at the end why this is not the right thing to do. And it frustrated me. I go into good detail, and honestly, it was something that I articulated very well, and I can't believe people are still disagreeing with me. We've got the game against Liverpool coming up, and a lot of you are going to say, Alex, it's Wednesday. The game's on Saturday. Why are we previewing it? Well, there's an injury. Another one. Yes, another one. I'm turning it to DJ Khaled. Another one. The problem is, these injuries aren't going away. We've got the centre-back issues that we all know, so we only have 3 centre-backs to pick from. Josh, Badiashile, and Hato. Badiashile's already told us he's a bit shattered because he hasn't played for 94 days that long. Josh looked competent when he came on. And Hato, on the other hand, looked very good against Brighton. I've got no complaints. Are we going to have 2 left footers? I don't know. That's something we're going to have to see. It is a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. In the midfield is where the problems are starting to accumulate. Asu goes out until the new year. We know that. Lavia, well, I always assume that this man is now, what's it called, always injured, right? Until he's playing consistent game time, I assume he's hurt. The key now is, and this is the big key, we need to make sure that Andrey Santos is actually only out until the international break and not any longer. But Santos is injured, and this is a huge problem because now what we have left is Caicedo, Enzo, and Lavia. And Lavia, I don't even know how long he can play. But the game is against Liverpool. It is huge. We're at Stamford Bridge. They've just got beaten in Turkey. They got the Paklava beaten out of them. And the reality is now they're going to come with a vim. And we're going to have to step up. In the front positions, no Delap, no Palmer. We know that Caicedo is carrying a knock. We know that Joao Pedro is carrying a knock. We have got serious problems. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. We have. It is what it is. I need you lot to let me know, right? What would be your ideal scenario now? Are you going with an Enzo and Caicedo midfield? Personally, I can't lie to you. What I'm leaning on, you lot are going to be furious. I'm thinking James might have to come in, but these injuries just aren't ending. They're never ending. They're always expanding. So I need to know your thoughts. Like I said, this video has been a little bit less news and more thought-provoking. Who would be your ideal centre-half? Do you think Guio's going to Strasbourg and that's why they're not using him? Or do you just think Maresca thinks he's crap? And finally, the biggest one of all, Andrey Santos ain't playing. What do you do against Liverpool? But, like I said earlier, I've got a video over here that reviews the Chelsea versus Benfica victory. We're back in the Champions League. I'll break it down into details, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Hit the like button on your way out. Peace out. I'm out. Bye.